Now with talking about Marvel stuff, we'll switch over to kind of on the same note. Talk about something in DC that I just finally did. I since I was like 10 years old, I haven't been reading comics. When I was a kid, I used to love like Calvin and Hobbes and Garfield. So nothing really superhero-ish. I love superhero cartoons.
Right.
I loved animated Batman, animated Spider-Man, X-Men, but I just never got into reading comics because none of my friends did. Um, you bought me The Killing Joke at the Comic Con,
Yeah. Wizard World in Des
Wizard
Moines.
World, and I
Because
stayed.
you had said something about, hey, I'd like to read comic books, but I don't want to be stuck into the familiar comic book rut most people get in, where it's like, if I read this, I have to read everything else, and I have so much catching up and stuff to do. And I said, well, lucky for you, I know these graphic novels you can just sit down and read.
Lucky for you here on all things comic books. So here's a good.
I know books you can read. You can sit down and read the book and finish from start to finish, and you're like, okay, that's complete.
We rented Cloverfield Lane or whatever the second one, and I love the movie, but for some reason last night I saw that book sitting up there when we were watching it. And I was like, this is still in its packaging. I feel terrible that my friend bought it for me and I haven't read it yet. So while we were watching this movie that I really wanted to watch a second time, I was like, I'll start reading the beginning and maybe I'll be interested in reading it later, so that I at least get myself hooked into it. So when I finish this movie that I want to watch, I can read it. I didn't watch the rest of the movie. I read the book instead. I liked the book a lot. I didn't like how, and this is something that we started talking about, but I said, hey, let's save this for the podcast. I didn't like the way it ended because, call me old school, call me like, I've always liked, going back to wrestling, I've liked Hulk Hogan because he's the good guy. No matter what, he always is going to win. He's going to pull through it. And that's why I've always liked Batman. No matter what odds you stack against Batman,
Yeah.
he's always going to beat the villain. No matter what kind of game they're playing with each other, he's always going to beat him. And this book, he lost at the end. Batman lost the fight at the end. He gave in to the Joker.
It's open for interpretation. I don't. That's something. There's a big split in the comic book community where people, about half the people think that, spoiler, Batman kills the Joker at the end.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. Batman has the one rule. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Throughout the course of the book, it's Barbara Gordon gets shot, who was Batgirl, gets shot and paralyzed and tortured. It's insinuated that she's raped.
Yeah.
You don't really know, but she was raped, I think, from the way I interpreted the book. Even more horrific than that are what you see Commissioner Gordon go through.
Yeah,
That's
Barbara's dad.
Yeah.
He has that place against his will, to the circus against his will, strapped down, shown photos of his daughter
Of
being
what's
shot
happening
and
to her,
paralyzed,
right.
And it's heavily implied that he's also raped.
Right.
So both Barbara and Jim are the victims.
Yeah.
In this book.
The closest people to Batman.
Yeah, they're all one of his proteges and his best friend.
Because if there's one thing that you don't want to do to people to Bruce Wayne is shoot somebody that he loves. You know what I mean? Because the guy has nightmares about it literally every night. Mm-hmm. Literally, even if he's not asleep, he closes his eyes, he sees his parents being shot in front of him. He doesn't like guns, so he has to see that she was shot, tortured, raped. Mm-hmm. His best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, unless. Do you say Robin's his best friend? Do you say Alfred's his best friend?
I have more than one best friend, but I think Commissioner Gordon is Batman's best friend.
Right.
Sure. He's more of a father figure to Robin.
The father that he did have a father, but that he didn't get to have.
And Alfred, and Alfred is more of his father.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but when you see those things happening to those two, to Barbara and Jim, and Batman feels responsible. Course,
because he always, no matter what, he always feels responsible.
And so, to see at the end of that book, if you remember, when Batman saves Commissioner Gordon, mm-hmm. rescues him, and he's like, after I've been through all this stuff, my daughter's been through all this stuff. You take him down by the book. He says to Batman.
Yeah, Gordon again proves to be the better of the two of them.
Yeah, he is
because
his will has not been broken.
Right, and
the whole time Joker's trying to prove that everyone is one bad day away from being insane.
From being him,
from being just like him.
Right. But Commissioner Gordon doesn't.
No,
he never breaks.
Yes. Arguably, Batman is already that man. Bruce Wayne has already had that one bad day.
And that's what I don't like about the book, is because the whole theory of Batman created the bad guys and Batman is insane and
I'm not saying he created the bad guys.
I know. I'm piggybacking off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That whole I don't like that. I don't subscribe to that. I subscribe to the story we're told, not the one written in between the lines. I like, hey, he saw this horrific thing happen. He does things that men shouldn't be able to do because his will and his mind is so powerful. Well, his body too. I mean, he's strong. He's so powerful that he overcomes all these things. He always outsmarts, his opponent. Again, call me old school with that, but I don't like the whole theory of Batman's insane. I think in the way it ends, no matter what, he's gone insane at some point.
I don't think he is insane. I said that. I probably used the term loosely, but he is definitely not a sane person.
To put on a bat suit and
yeah.
Fly around and fight bad guys. I get what you're saying, but
I mean, if someone did that legitimately in real life, we're not going to idolize that person.
Speak for yourself, moron.
But anyway, back to what I was saying about how Barbara and Jim are the victims. And Jim says, take him down by the book. We have to show him our way works. Okay. That's Jim's call.
Yeah.
I don't think that, Batman, if Commissioner Gordon's like, kill him, shoot him,
yeah.
Maybe Batman does.
You think he would, because he's the person he kind of Gordon's the reason Batman gets kind of inspired to be Batman. And I mean,
but I still think that he doesn't.
You think if he would have said kill him, you think the book, because you can interpret the end of the book, because the laughter stops and the rain, kind of like the last couple panels you see.
The cops are coming. The cops are there.
Right.
And because you see the cop lights behind them when he's holding onto his shoulders, not his neck or anything. People think he strangled him or killed him. He's got hold of his shoulders. And then the scene pans down to see their feet. The laughing stops and the sirens keep coming. I'm thinking he took him down or whatever, and the cops took him away. Because either way, if you subscribe to the theory the way you read it, that Joker dies at the end, Batman kills Joker.
And that's not the way I want to do it.
No, Batman's going to jail, Joker's going to the morgue.
Yeah.
But I think the other way, Joker just gets arrested and goes back to the revolving door at Arkham, in and out.
And he's proven wrong. That's what I'd like to. I want to reread it now and read it that way. But I'm gonna have to read it I'm not gonna be able to just look at it and think about it. I'm gonna have to reread it that way.
I think Batman, Bruce Wayne, in his head, knows that he's not completely sane either. I think he
laughs at the end because he accepts.
He accepts that they're both the joke the Joker tells at the end about the inmates escaping.
Okay.
He realizes that they are the inmates.
They're the inmates. Okay. Dang, I'm gonna have to reread that now.
That's why he laughs about it. He realizes that it's them, and it's the sanest the Joker has ever been.
To say something that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the sanest the Joker's ever been, and probably the most insane Batman's been at that point.
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of how I take it.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm very excited for the animated movie.
Yeah. I was about to move on. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill reprising their roles.
Is there a release date yet?